Hey guys, it's Sam here. How are you going? And happy Wesak Day. So, on this auspicious day, do you know what it is that is celebrated? Hmm, good question, huh? So, yeah, hey, this looks kind of cool. You know, Wesak Day is the day with procession carts. You know, they go out in the streets, they travel from temple to temple, lots of lights and cool costumes. Okay. So yes, what is it that is celebrated? Actually, doesn't this look a bit like that movie Tangled? You know, the one with Rapunzel, where they're trying to find her and they light the lanterns. Ooh, I guess that means Rapunzel is Buddhist. Yeah, no, because I think this whole lantern lighting thing is more of an Asian thing, isn't it? Not so common in Western countries. Maybe I'm mistaken. Anyway, so you got figured it out. You thought back to those times when you went to see the procession. Yeah, you ever knew what it's about? Okay, I'll tell you. So Wesak Day, it commemorates the three major events of the Gautama Buddha's life: his birth, his enlightenment, and his death. Okay, three major events. Okay, that's what it celebrates, commemorates. So, you know, when you see those carts traveling down the street, each of them represents an aspect of his life, or you know, an aspect of his teachings. All right, there you go. All right. So to coincide with Wesak Day, the government, the Malaysian government, has lifted the ban on interstate travel. That's right. So you can go out and get stuck in the Wesak Day traffic jam. I'm just kidding. Probably don't go out in the evenings, you know, when you know the procession is starting, going from temple to temple. Remember that? Yeah. Okay. So, but apart from that, it's probably I don't know how the Wesak Day celebrations will be going this year, right? Because obviously no big congregations, so might be a little quieter than usual. But they're not the only ones traveling. So again, you know, you can go between any state now in Malaysia. It's free game. Go wild. It might be a bit hard to get to Sabah and Sarawak, maybe. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, you can go anywhere within Malaysia. So yes, parents, definitely, please go and pick up your kids. Okay, so apparently there were a number of students who got stuck at their colleges, their unis during the lockdown. You know, I'm sure they had a ball of a time, you know, hanging with their schoolmates. But still, you know, please don't forget to go pick them up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and so I think the government is expecting quite a lot of people on the road. Yeah. But do note that the shops along the R&Rs are closed on the highways. Okay. So only the toilets are available, and nobody's cleaned them in like months. So yeah, use at own risk. Okay, yes, and the government, I think the highway people are expecting over 300,000 cars to hit up the streets starting today. Okay, so please, no rush, guys. Okay, anyway, let's hop to our Hokkien lesson. All right, so today's is Cham Kan Man Yo. Chamkan manyo, or chamchi manyo. Okay, what does it mean? It means please hold, please wait a moment. Okay. Chamkan manyo. A little bit tricky to say. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue like the Japanese chotto mate. Chotto mate. Chamkan manyo. Okay, please wait a moment. Okay, and in Hokkien it is tanze. Okay, so local, when they say it fast, it will sound like tanze. Tanze. Very common. So yeah, it's a way of asking people to, you know, hey, please hold, please wait a moment. Okay, so this roughly translates to 等一下. I think that sounds about right. Yeah, 等一下. Okay, in Chinese, which means wait. Please wait a moment. Okay, one moment, please. Okay, 잠깐만요. 丹姐. Okay, if you want to be extra polite, you can be like, oh, 丹姐啊, 감사, thanks, 감사, thank you. Okay. 잠깐만요. Okay, 갑시다. Let's go. So, before I go on to the main topic, animal facts, I have a question for you. Okay, what would a frog, that's right, a frog, do with a piece of paper? Yes, what would a frog do with a piece of paper? Well, I'll tell you. The frog would rip it. Rip it. Get it? Rip it. Rip it. Rip the paper. Rip it. Okay, if you don't get it, never mind. You'll get it later tonight. Okay, so why do I talk about frogs? Because it's Reptile Day. Well, it's not really Reptile Day. What? Okay, so I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the mythology of the multi-headed dragon, the Hydra. Heil Hydra. Okay, many-headed snake, or in this case, it's clearly a dragon, a lizard, right? So yes, these many-headed animals, they come up in many cultures, and almost always there's some form of dragon, snapping turtle, something like that. Okay, I think only in one case they are a dog, which is Cerberus, right? But how often do you see multi-headed dogs running around? Not very, right? And no, it's not because people do bad things to them. They just don't survive that well. Okay, but have you seen a multi-headed snake or multi-headed reptile? Okay, like this guy, really cute. Hydra. So yes, there are. Well, I'll warn you first. It gets a little graphic. Okay. Yes. So there are many reports of multi-headed snakes and turtles, tortoises, just going about their business every day. Here, let's have a look at some more interactive. Here's the snake one. Look at that. It's alive and well, looks healthy. Yeah. I don't want no one wants to listen to you talk. Just show us the snakey. Show us the snake. What? Yes. No. What? Right. So this little guy, this cute little guy, has 2 hearts, both functioning well. So yeah, it's alive and well. And come on, can we see the snake, please? Please, like the rail snake. Okay. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's right, a 2-headed snake going about its day perfectly normal. So I imagine they share a number of organs, like the digestive tract. But yeah, clearly 2 distinct and well-formed, healthy heads. Okay, it's not just snakes. Tortoises. Yeah, let's check out this guy. Ah, look at it. Isn't it cute? A little scary. Those are cute. Oh man, that's sad. It's a little 3rd hand. 5th hand, I should say. Yeah, there you go. See? I guess they must be doing alright. Look a little lost there, but for the most part, hey, they do just fine. Okay, so the question, no, not that one, is, hey, how do they survive? Why? Right? Oh, look at that! Isn't it cute? Okay, a little bit weird, but still cute, right? So yes, there are numerous cases of these creatures, right? And the question I pose is, why do you see so many more 2-headed reptiles, like 2-headed turtles, 2-headed snakes, compared to, say, 2-headed sharks or dogs, cats, right? I guess in humans, the closest thing you would get is like a Siamese twin, but even then, Siamese twins, firstly, not that common, and secondly, even when they are, I don't think, unfortunately, the survival rate is not particularly high. Okay, so the reason why why you get more of these in reptiles is there's 2 factors. Okay, so to answer why, we have to look at their development. Okay, so development is a very complicated matter. Okay, it involves lots and lots of factors, and even small things changing can have big impacts further down the track. Okay, so when the little embryo is in this early stage, right, they require a stable and a constant environment. By that I mean, okay, so in humans or in mammals, oftentimes the embryo develops inside the parent. Okay, so like usually in the mother, right, in the womb. Okay, so in the womb there is a constant temperature, there's protection, there's steady flow of nutrients, oxygen, all those things, they are kept constant. So unless something happens to the mother, God forbid, right, the embryo, the fetus, is protected and is given a nice protected space, right, to develop. Okay, so compare that to these reptiles. So in animals like turtles, turtles and snakes, they literally lay the eggs and then they fuck off, right? Like have you seen? I'm sure you've seen how turtles do their reproduction thing, right? They just dig a hole in the sand, they plop in a whole bunch of eggs, and then they literally they just F off. They just go, yep. They bury them. They go, yep. So long, suckers. You're on your own. Yeah. And same with snakes. They just eggs. I mean, yes, no. Some will hang around and protect the nest, but for those that don't, right? There's obviously a higher risk of things going wrong, right? Because for these guys, for like turtles, it's clearly a quantity over quality issue. They just lay a crap ton, and probability dictates that maybe some will survive, right? Whereas with other animals that lay eggs, like birds, they will stay with the egg, they will incubate the egg, right? So incubation, there you go, keeping it at a good temperature. So temperature is very important. So whereas these eggs, obviously they're in the sand, so they're in the ground, relatively constant. But say nature were to wash some of them out, or humans were to dig them out, so then the eggs would get too hot or too cold, and then some of them may not develop properly. And when they don't develop properly, then you end up with this. Yeah, so that's what happens. So there is a higher chance of these wacky mutations. Okay, so that's factor number one. Okay, the fact that being ditched in eggs, just left around, leads to a higher chance of wacky things happening. Okay, as compared to a more protected environment where you're more vested in your offspring. Okay, so factor number two is reptiles. For some reason, reptiles like turtles and snakes, they are more, I guess, hardy. Is hardy the word? Resilient. So even if they have one extra leg or one extra head, they're just like, no, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm not turning back, man. I'm all the way. Keep developing, as long as I can survive. Okay, so they have a much higher survivability rate when they have things like this. When things like this happen. Okay, I don't know why. It's just a reptile thing, I suppose. Whereas in mammals, this wouldn't fly. The body would be like, nope, abort. End of story. Okay, whereas with turtles and snakes and these funky reptiles, they're just like, no, this. Like, it stinks. Right? Imagine sharing a set of limbs. I wonder which head controls which limb. That's a very good question. Very good question. Okay, so in humans, usually, with Siamese twins, the ones that survive tend to have at least the main organs, discrete organs. So each Siamese twin will have their own set, so they can be separated, and maybe they'll have to split the liver or something like that. They have to share certain organs, or one side will have to get a donation, get a transplant. Okay, so that they can survive apart from each other. Okay, but if they were to stay conjoined, then yes, I guess they would have to share certain organs, and hey, as long as their organs work and they both take care of them, then I guess that works. So I guess conjoined twins are the human version of the Hydra. Hail Hydra. Okay, there you go. So, but yeah, it's just a reptile thing. They tend to fare better with multiple heads and multiple limbs and all that. Okay, I mean, don't know why. It's just the way they're genetically made up. Like I said, more resilient, or yeah, they have more fluid survival genes. Okay, that's all from me today, and so I hope you have a lovely and blessed Wesak day, and remember not to give frogs paper, okay? Because remember, all they're gonna do is rip it, rip it, rip it. Okay, have a great one, and I'll catch you some other time. Okay? Da bois. Sam out.